Hi Aries, welcome to your end of November 2021 General Tarot Update. It's Rena here. Well, I took a couple of days off. Well, it wasn't like this is just the time when it's more convenient for me to do this, but I mean, I'm still in the right time frame because I'm smack dab doing this on the 17th, so, well, I guess there's only 30 days, right? So maybe yesterday was the 15th. That would have been halfway through the month. Oh, well, it's the last half of the month. Okay, what am I talking about? Whew. Okay, Aries. So the big news, wow, I got Ace of Wands and Two of Wands, King of Wands, all this fire, wow. We're going into Sag season, so that's fire. That's going to be, holy mackerel, Four of Wands, Fire City. Okay. So the big story here, obviously, as most of you know, is the solar or the lunar eclipse that's occurring in Taurus. So that's happening in your second house. That could be a breakthrough financially. Some of you may be going through quite a transition financially in your life. Maybe this is a whole new chapter. So there might, depending on your time of life and other situations, that's going to affect that. And then what was the other thing that was happening? Oh, well, the sun is going into Sagittarius on the 21st, so there's more, compatibility there with the fire signs. So that'll be your fifth house. It's very nice. So the heart of the matter is the King of Wands. And this deck called the Moon and Stars Tarot has like a key word for every card at the bottom. And so they chose passion for the King of Wands. I would say autonomy for the King of Wands, the ultimate autonomy, the ultimate, calling your own shots. And when I have this heart of the matter card, it doesn't mean that that's what's happening in your life. It could be that that's what you want more than anything. And perhaps you're experiencing the exact opposite of that. So I sometimes don't make that clear, but that's what that card represents. So this is kind of like a general focus, but what area of life or in your life as a whole, Aries, do you feel like you call your own shots, or do you feel like you are controlled by an outer element? And even if you work for yourself, I mean, you have clients, you have people that you have to answer to. It's not like you're just completely able to do whatever you want whenever you want. You still have to take into consideration other people. So that's always going to be a fantasy if somebody thinks that. But other than that, there are other things going on that can make a person feel like they are more in control of their life or less in control. And so just curious how you feel about your life. And that can also be a person that you're dealing with, a King of Wands, a mature fire sign. A mature fire sign they will tell you, oh yeah, chronologically older than you, X age and beyond. But really it's about self-mastery, and you can have a person in their 20s or 30s who really exemplifies what the King of Wands stands for. And you might have somebody, who's in their 50s and they're like the Knight of Wands. They're a lot more unstable. They're a lot more volatile, or they won't settle down and things like that. So the mature fire sign has a lot of passion for life, but they also have maturity. So they're not like flying off the handle. They don't have temper issues and all of that kind of stuff. So the three fire signs are Aries, obviously, Leo, and Sagittarius. If that's somebody you're dealing with. In the past position, we have the Two of Wands. They say planning. I'm not quite sure why they say planning. I would say with the Two of Wands, it can be a choice that you have to make in terms of career matters or the direction of career itself. Maybe there are two careers. Maybe you're like at a turning point in your life and you're trying to transition into a new type of career. With the King of Wands, it's likely going to be something that is much more connected to your freedom. The likelihood of you being in a subordinate position is not very much the case with that particular card. So with the King of Wands, so maybe even starting your own business is something that you're kicking around in your mind at the very least. The higher message is the Ace of Wands, new beginnings. But it's new beginnings, but it's also wands. So the beginnings are something that are very exciting to you, very appealing, bring joy to your life. It's not like the Ace of Pentacles where you feel like you are grounded, settled. It's like very passionate. And this is important to Aries people because you are fire signs, you're the first fire sign, and you get bored very easily. So the best scenario for you is something that you feel like you can put a lot of yourself into, and also that you have that strong connection to your project or your work. If you feel like you're making somebody else's dreams come true, that might not sit very well with you and feel ultimately very joyous because you will be constantly thinking, but I could be doing this for myself. I could be like, I would have the green light to be able to implement my ideas. As a fellow fire sign Sagittarian, I remember when, working retail and having those stupid meetings, which they always seem to do like on Saturday nights. And everybody thought they were lame. We're all just kind of like trying to get it over with. And the general manager is with the regional manager, all those kinds of things, the pecking order, the food chain. And, I remember like actually having ideas and wanting to share them and having, not having that receptivity. And that feels bad, even if you are working for someone else. If you're working for someone who is willing to listen to you and respect your ideas, then that's everything. But how often does that happen? So I don't want to, give the impression that, oh yes, you have to you have to have your own business in order to be able to feel good about what you're doing. No, that's not necessarily true. But if you're employed by somebody else, they have to give you the benefit of the doubt and actually respect you enough to let you do your own thing and to really value your ideas. For you to feel like, hey, I feel okay working here, or I feel like I'm respected, that kind of thing. What crosses you is the Nine of Cups. In this deck, they say fulfillment. I would just say wish fulfillment, and it's crossing you, which means it doesn't mean, oh, this is impossible. It means that there's some kind of a delay. There's something blocking this fulfillment. And another thing too with the King of Wands is that if there's another person, and if this is like your boss, the King of Wands, if this is another individual, that person may be kind of like thwarting you in some way. It is in the upright position, so it's not to say that they're being malicious, just simply that for some reason they want to be able to be in control of the situation. So sometimes this happens when you have let's say you have two fire signs that are together, and they are both very, they have that masculine element. They're very dominating, and it's like, who gets to call the shots? And it's not necessarily conducive for cooperation, because both people have very strong personalities and ideas. So, and also too, don't get in your own way. That's just something that came into my mind, is that you may be so wanting this that you are somehow blocking it. Let me just continue. Maybe it'll make sense. What's coming in is the Four of Wands. They call this a card of celebration. In the Rider-Waite deck and other decks, sometimes they'll show them celebrating in front of a house. That could be like a new house, or with the family, that kind of thing. It's like, what I think is that the Nine of Cups is like not so fast. Maybe you want to cut to the chase and just have everything already done, and you have to wait to feel that you have accomplished this. But you're on the right path, whatever it is that you're doing, it's in alignment, because I have 4 out of the 6 cards in fire, and that is your element. And like I said, we're going into Sagittarius season in a couple days, and actually your ruler Mars, I don't know when it goes into Sag exactly. I think it's in early December. I'll have to check, but then that certainly will really be the case, where you're going to really feel this full time, because it'll be in your 5th house, and that's really good for your own business and other creative endeavors, as well as love matters, if this is related to love in any way. And if this is related to love, and you're worried about, if you have children and you're worried about them liking the person that you're with, the Four of Wands suggests that there's going to be harmony with that. And the outcome is the Page of Swords. It says education. I would say do your homework, do your research. Make sure that whatever it is that you're trying to do, that you're not like being too hasty, and you're not preparing properly, because you might, and that might be why the Nine of Cups is in the challenged position, is because you're always taking shortcuts. And when you need to research what it is that you're doing, I was going to say, Aries people tend to be impatient, so they don't want to do things methodically. And the Page of Swords is really putting attention, thought into what you're doing. Don't be thoughtless. And it's also, I also think it's about, I don't like the word wary, being wary, but it is the Spy card. So if, like, for instance, you want to transition into your own business, maybe you've already started it, but you still have employment that you're dealing with, you might want to be very cautious about telling everybody, like maybe coworkers and things like that, what your plans are, because you never know who they're going to tell. So you want to be vigilant about things like that, about your words. Keep your plans close to your vest, and be aware of who is around you. Okay, Aries, that's what I have for you. It's actually a very positive reading. I hope that you resonated with this. If you would like a private reading, you can click on the link below to find out more information. Take care. Bye.